Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Welcome to the Underground Railroad of Truth. This is the Free Your Mind podcast with your host, the Wordmaster.
The scripture reading is taken from Ephesians 5, from verses 11 to 14. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doeth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, Awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light.
Welcome back to the Free Your Mind podcast. This week we want to look at the current trend of the assault on the conscience. Now, if you are anything like me, you are a voracious connoisseur of current events, the news, and so forth. And one of the things that you would have observed is the fact that in today's culture, especially in the United States, it seems like free thinking, liberty of conscience is severely under attack. Now, mind you, while it is never okay under any circumstance to yell fire in a crowded theater or to say things that are otherwise obscene or, well, just out of the way. Do you remember when certain social media platforms came on the scene, like Facebook and YouTube and so forth? They were looser, they were freer, they actually were the market square of free ideas. And then after a while, because they needed to have advertisers and attract a certain type of demographic, they began to tighten the noose of what you can say, what you can post, what you can share. Again, mind you, certain things I do not believe should be allowed on those platforms, and persons themselves should be aware that they should police themselves and act accordingly. However, liberty of conscience, freedom of expression seems to be under attack, and especially so is the assault on the consciences of those who have opposing views. And one of the main reasons why this campaign this year has been launched is because of such attacks. In the coming days, as you heard on our May preview, and if you haven't, go back and listen to the shows that are upcoming. But in the upcoming shows, we want to show how important it is that we do not, and I repeat, we do not take it lightly that these things are happening. And these things aren't happening just because there's an agenda behind it. And you need to know that if you cannot operate on social media, there are wherewithal, the ways and the means are there for you to share your views on alternate platforms, even platforms that you could create, and you could get certain people who agree and believe like you do come together and build the platform. If you believe that you have something to share, something that goes against the popular narrative, do not be afraid. Do not think that your scope of influence is limited. Do not think that the possibilities are against you. You see, my friends, that's one of the things that this agenda is pushing. So when you hear the majority of voices saying that it's okay to be this way or it's okay to be that way, and how dare they and how dare you, and who gives you the right? That's just a one-sided view, because guess what? When you open that Pandora's box, as I saw in a news article the other day, you're allowing other things to come out. And then you're going to be saying to another group, how dare you? And what makes you think you can do this? And you get what I'm saying? So while I do agree that because we live in a world that is so polluted that we can't let everything out of the box, obviously, but to stifle even the mere mention of a person saying this is wrong without having to face repercussions. What type of world is that? And then here goes the tragedy of it all. persons are made to believe that because all those voices, the companies, the media, your next door neighbor, and the aggressive activists are the loudest voices, you're made to believe that, well, if I can't beat them, might as well join them or just crawl into a shell somewhere. And that's it. Friend of mine, let me tell you, it's not the answer, it's not the solution. You have a mind that was given you to think. You have a mind that was given you to put things together and come up with a plan of action. Again, do not be discourteous to the alternate voices, but on the other hand, do not be silent. Do not remain silent, because just as much as they have the right, the freedom to be this way, to act this way, and to promote their ideas, you too also have a mind that has been given you to promulgate those things that you believe are morally right, morally true. And to go against your conscience is probably one of the greatest sins you could commit against your own self. I trust and pray that as we go forward into this campaign, that it will be your desire, your determination to not let them, not allow them to control the narrative any longer. As I say, do the research for yourself. Know that there are other voices. Know that there are other choices. Research. Look for those things, and please do not let anybody, no matter who they may be, no matter how many millions and trillions of dollars they have behind their names, do not let anybody stifle your conscience. Again, the sin against the conscience is probably one of the greatest sins you could commit against your own self. And you do not want that. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean you have to. You can stand up while everyone else is bowing down. It is high time that you learn that in society, as this modern day Roman Empire, as this modern day Babylonian Empire is crumbling back into the dust from which it came, you can rise above it. And my friends, dear listener, I encourage you to free your mind and emancipate yourself from mental slavery. See you next time.